What's up, YouTubers? Hardworker12 with you here today with a Subaru Crosstrek Plug-In Hybrid. Now, this is a limited production car. It's only available in certain states, California being one of them, which is where I am. This happens to be a 2019 model, but Subaru has just confirmed production of this car for the 2020 model year, presumably still in limited quantities. So I thought now might be a good time to show you what makes this car different from a standard Crosstrek. And we're going to go over some of the, let's call them quirks and features on this vehicle. So what is this thing exactly? Well, it's a Subaru Crosstrek and it's a plug-in hybrid. What that means is you can plug this car into the wall. If you can guess, this is where you do it. And charge it up. It will accept level 1 and level 2 chargers, but it will not do the level 3 super fast charge. But you don't really need level 3 because the maximum range on battery power alone is approximately 17 miles. So it doesn't have a very large battery. However, it still has a gas cap because it has a regular gasoline engine. So you don't necessarily have to plug it in and charge it, but you should. Because if you plug this thing in and charge it every night and have relatively normal driving habits, you're going to get 90 miles per gallon equivalent out of the gasoline and electric motors combined. So this is by far the most fuel efficient car that Subaru has ever made, and it's one of the most fuel efficient all-wheel drive cars that you can get, besides maybe a Tesla. For reasons I don't fully understand, the window sticker on this particular car has led a hard life already, but you can see the fuel economy ratings there, 90 miles per gallon equivalent as a best case scenario. This 35 mile per gallon number, that is if you never charge the car, it's going to average about 35 miles per gallon. So that is an average for you if you never charge it. That's about 6 miles per gallon better than a 2019 Crosstrek with an automatic and 5 miles per gallon better than a 2020. And this car has an MSRP of $37,110. It is missing the major option package on the Crosstrek Hybrid, which gives you the moonroof, navigation, and Harman Kardon sound. So once you get all that, you're looking at like $39,500 is a typical MSRP for one of those, and that would be fully loaded for one of these vehicles. Okay, so once we open the cargo door, which the door itself is like any of the non-hybrid models, you'll see down here that the cargo floor is actually raised up above the bottom lip where you load the cargo in. So you do lose some cargo space with the hybrid, and you also lose the flat tire. What you get is a can of Fix-A-Flat. So that may or may not do something for you. I suppose you might also need an air pump, but that is not necessarily provided. The other thing under our little flappy flap here in the cargo area is this. And what the heck is that? Well, I'll show you what it is. That is the cargo area cover. You don't have the kind of retractable roll-away cargo cover on the Crosstrek Hybrid that you do in the other Crosstreks. You just kind of get these grooves right here on the side, and you slide this guy in there. Not quite a perfect fit, but that's your cargo cover, and you can fold it back up like origami and put it back under the flap if you feel like it. And just because Subaru customers love measuring stuff, there's your measurement for the cargo floor. It's about 3 1/4 inches maybe above the lip to load cargo in on the hybrid. On the interior, you can see they call it a navy blue interior. It's kind of a bluish gray with a lighter gray insert. You do have blue stitching on the trim and the seats, where you would normally have orange stitching on the regular Crosstrek Limiteds, and then you have the blue sort of trim. anodized blue, I guess you'd call that, on the dash and the doors. Couple other little things in the Crosstrek hybrids. You have a little button here that says Save Hold CHG. Now what this does, when you push it when you're driving the car, it tells the car that you want to save the charge that's in your battery. So when you push this and engage it, save mode is now on with my little green thing up there. So what that means is when we're driving, it's going to defer to the gasoline engine for power to the vehicle, and it's going to save the charge that's in the battery. The reason why you might do this, I live in Southern California, people drive to Las Vegas, you have to go up the Cajon Pass. So if you were driving from Orange County to Vegas, you could save your battery charge and then use the electricity to help give you more power and burn less gas going up the Cajon Pass or some other mountain pass in some other area. Now in every other Crosstrek with an automatic, you have park, reverse, neutral, drive, and then M for manual. This one is a little different. You have park, reverse, neutral, drive, and then B. Now, there are no paddle shifters on this car, so you don't have a manual mode. The B is braking. So when you put it into the B, when you let your foot off of the gas, you'll feel the car slow down a little bit more, and that is to engage the regenerative braking so that you charge your battery up a little bit more, and that's probably a better way to drive. You won't use your brake pads as much, and you'll recoup a little bit more energy from the road, but the car is going to slow down more when you let off of the brake. If you don't like that, just leave it and drive. Now, one other difference with the Crosstrek hybrid is the key. This happens to be the key to my WRX STI. I've got the lock, the unlock button, which is the Subaru, and then open the trunk on this one. Well, the key to the Crosstrek hybrid is similar, but instead of the trunk unlock button, it says AC. So what does that do? Well, I'm sitting in the car. You turn it fully off, lock it, and if I push and hold AC, it cools down the car. For some reason, this is the only Subaru that does it. I don't know if you can hear, the fans have come on. So you can do that to cool down your Crosstrek hybrid on a hot day and get into a little bit nicer, cooler vehicle when you're ready to drive. Okay, so the buttons down here are slightly different from other Crosstreks. Some of it's the same: steering, responsive headlights, traction control, blind spot monitoring, kind of similar to what you would see in a Limited. To open the gas door in the Crosstrek hybrid, you have to push this button. It's not the little manual release on the floor like the rest of them. You actually have an electric button to push, and the reason for that is that the gas tank is pressurized, because it's possible somebody with this car may go a month, 2 months, 6 months without filling the gas. So that's meant to kind of preserve the fuel supply and make sure your gas stays good. The other button is this little clock one right here. So this is to plan the timing of your charges. For example, if you have the car plugged in your garage and you want it to start charging at 2 a.m. because power is cheaper. So what you'll do, come over here and push this button to turn the ignition on, and now my little screen is alive. And now I'm going to push my little plug clock button, and I'm going to come up here and I can see charging schedule, go back, and I'm going to use my little controls here. So I'm going to go into charging schedule, I'm going to add, and now I can choose start time, AM, all that good stuff, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So if you wanted to set the car to always start charging at 1:30 in the morning because electricity is cheaper at that time, then you can do that with your Subaru Crosstrek hybrid. So when driving the Crosstrek hybrid, another interesting item is you get this nice little screen up above the main infotainment screen, and it shows you what your gasoline engine and your electric engine are doing. So right now the gasoline engine is lit up in amber, it's on, and as I slow down, it's taking the gasoline engine out of the equation. Now it's back on again. As I accelerate, it's charging the battery somewhat, as you can see. But if I accelerate harder, now the energy from the battery is going into the transmission to power the wheels. The gasoline engine was giving me power. And now as I slow down, I have regenerative braking. So I am charging the battery as the braking system is recouping kinetic energy from the road. Okay, so let's say we have plugged our plug-in hybrid into a charging point. Now, if I lock the car, which I'm doing now, and I try to take this out, I am able to do so. So let's say you want to lock that in there. Well, there's a little button right here that says lock, unlock. And if I push that button, it's now locked in, so that some rude person can't come and unplug my car. However, if I push that button, it unlocks it. Well, what was the point of that? They could just push the button. Well, that button is keyed to the keyless entry system. All Crosstrek hybrids have the smart key with the keyless access. So if I push this button and I go put the key somewhere else, I no longer have it in my hands, it will not let me unlock it, so it will stay plugged in and nobody can dehorse me from my charge point. Just for fun, here's the engine compartment of the Crosstrek hybrid. You have some extra cables and intimidating looking stuff there. I really don't know what all that is, but that's what it looks like. So anyway, that's my video on the quirks and features and differences of the Subaru Crosstrek Plug-In Hybrid. I'm sure I missed some stuff. If I did, please put it in the comments. If you have any questions, put those in the comments as well. I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you feel like it, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.